Hello and welcome to another episode of Tips and Ideas with Ed Wallace of Midwest Landscaping, www.uniqueenvironments.com. We're here in Ventura County, California on a project we've been working on for the past 3 months, getting things together here. And I want to talk to you today about a fantastic utility ground cover that we are using at this job site in order to cover some slope area, suppress weeds, and reduce the maintenance at this particular job site. What we have here is a utility ground cover known as Kurapia. Kurapia was developed over in Japan, and they've been using it for quite a few years now as a as a utility ground cover in order to hold the slope, help retain the slope, help to reduce the amount of weeding, and also to reduce the amount of maintenance required to maintain it. And the unique thing about this ground cover is that it grows horizontally. And the pattern that we chose to install this particular ground cover, and it does come in stolons or in plugs, and also it comes in the form that you see here, which is basically a sod form. These particular strips are about 5 foot square, about 2 or 3 feet by 2 or 3 feet by about 4 feet or so, 5 feet. So what we have here is a unique opportunity to fill in this area, because as this ground cover grows horizontally, it'll fill in the gaps that you see between the sod strips. The first time I utilized this ground cover was in Fountain Valley, California, and I used plugs. And from using the plugs over a course of about a year and a half, those plugs grew in and filled in the area. We had a area that we were using as a ground cover in between stepping stones. And it was the first time I ever used a Kurapia, and the results were phenomenal. I was really amazed by what happened. I didn't expect this at all. And the plugs that I used were a little bit smaller than, these are extra pieces from doing cutting and stuff, from installing the ground cover along the other side of the property here, or other side of the project. I used a little bit smaller size plugs and planted them 12 inches off center, and what we had was a fantastic coverage area. After the Kurapia was established, it was able to stretch out and fill in the gaps quite well, and I was really amazed. Out here in Ventura County, I'm close to Simi Valley, and it's very hot. And as you can see down below, there's some areas where basically it dried out, where it was just so hot. The next couple of days is supposed to be triple digits here in Moore Park, California, and so Simi Valley, borderline Simi Valley. So we're talking about some extreme temperatures, and so this piece right here basically got cooked. But we've been watering it, and there is some green coming back in the middle. And the unique thing about this ground cover, it has a very dense rooting system, and we're very confident that these areas that are browned out are basically crisp, that they will come back. As you can see, there's some greening and stuff happening down in here, and we'll have some loss, which is expected here because of this extreme heat. But I'm pretty sure that we'll have a situation where we'll be able to bring this Kurapia up to an acceptable installation level. We have it in between the steps here, so we can be able to have some coverage on the steps areas. We'll walk around this way. This is the north facing side of the pool equipment here, and you can see it. We just used the Kurapia and spaced it out in hopes that it's going to grow in and do quite well to help hold this slope. We're going to use some different types of shrubs and stuff on this slope, but I talked with the owner of the estate here, and he felt that let's do it, let's go for it. The Kurapia will have a beautiful purple flower, similar to like the flower that you see over here in the lantana that we planted on this side of the slope. We're yet to mulch this side and do some more fine tuning on this side of the slope. But as you can see, we had a very consistent installation of the Kurapia, and worked at making it so that it will fall in pretty well. And so this is what you see from a distance over here. And we're going to use that Kurapia over there where that screening is at, but from talking with the owner, what we're going to do is cut out sections of that screening and put in plugs, or possibly even hydro-seed it like we did with the rest of the slope in the back, and put in some native ground covers that will be kind of like gopher resistance, which is a joke. The only thing you can do is maintain the gophers, or maintain them off of your property, or work it, keeping them away from the job site here, because we're in an open area here where, if you can see up on the slope there's gopher activity up there, ground squirrels, and also where we've already hydro-seeded, there's ground squirrel and gopher activity happening on the slope. So being able to manage the gophers and ground squirrels is the big key here, and keeping them away. We put in a snake screen around the perimeter of the property, so that's going to help a little bit from the standpoint of preventing those ground squirrels and gophers from coming over into the project area. The bedrock is about a foot down, so we just got to work with it and figure out a happy medium of living with those gophers and managing them and the ground squirrels and keeping them away from the property. So this is what we have, the Kurapia installation. We're hoping everything is going to come out really well. I'm quite sure it will. And eventually that ground cover will stretch out over to other areas of this slope, and we'll be able to retain this slope quite well. So that's what we're doing. That's where we're at here in beautiful Ventura County, Moore Park, California. There's a organic garden down there, and they just planted that section down there like about 3 weeks ago, and it's already greened up quite well. A lot of different great fruits and vegetables. But tune back in and stay tuned. Ed Wallace, Midwest Landscaping, www.uniqueenvironments.com.